Hey, it's Dusty Thunder again. This time I've got a petty revenge story for you. This one is called That's the Last OK Boomer I'll Hear From Her. Refilling the ink on my wife's printer today reminded me of this one. It was my final day before I began retirement. Actually, a half day, about 30 minutes before lunch. The new printer for the new Gen Z receptionist had arrived. I had always made it my duty to unpack and install new computer equipment because 1, I could make sure it was done correctly, and 2, I enjoyed doing it. I brought the printer into the receptionist's office and told her what I was about to do. She said she could handle it. I said it's my job and my pleasure. She told me she had done it before and that she did not need a man to do it for her. I asked if it would be okay if I at least unpacked it for the documents inside. She says, "Okay, boomer." You could hear the snark in her voice, as if she had rolled her eyes any further back, she would have been looking out her ears. So I opened the box, grabbed the shipping docks, and left the instructions and ink bottles nearby. Then I lifted out the printer to make sure everything was in there. Opening the little door where the ink is loaded, I saw 4 stoppers: magenta, cyan, yellow, and black, left to right, all in that order. About an hour or so later, my retirement luncheon was interrupted by a phone call to my now former boss. Big problem, the new printer was printing all kinds of weird colors and the receptionist could not figure out what was wrong. The boss asked if I had any suggestions. I told him she's smart enough to handle it and that she didn't need an old boomer like me to do it for her. The boss relayed my comments to her word for word, made a few suggestions of his own, hung up, turned to me, and asked what could be wrong. Maybe she mixed up the colors when she was loading the inks. I found out later that the receptionist got scolded for not letting me do my job one last time so that it would have been done right. She also got scolded for obviously not following the instruction manual. The boss kept her on anyway. All it took was shifting the colored caps 1 reservoir to the right and putting the black cap on the far left reservoir. No color printers were damaged during the commission of this petty revenge. Very nice, sir. It wasn't even that, it's not even super petty. It's just, no, she said no, so no, I guess. She kind of chose that fate for herself. And to the receptionist, I'd be like, how does that sock taste? Is it like linty? Does it just take all the moisture from your mouth? And how long did you have to chew on that sock? Because that's what happened. Also, to be so brazen and then to completely f it up. I understand not needing someone else to do something for you. I get it. And for a lady, I understand not wanting a man to do everything for you. I get it completely. I support it. However, when you don't know what the you're doing and you're just taking things on because you want to be independent to the detriment of the organization you're working at, that's a problem, right? that maybe you're taking it a little bit too far. Maybe when there's a specialist who can help with a specific thing, you let the people who know what they're doing in that thing do it. But to you, OP, I think you played this perfectly well. You didn't bitch about it. You didn't bitch about it at all to your now former boss. You didn't bitch about anything. You were like, she doesn't need an old boomer like me. Maybe she got the ink cartridges mixed up. And he knew immediately what it was. He knew immediately. Wait, he didn't touch the packs. Did I screw that up? So I opened the box, grabbed the shipping docks, and left the instructions and ink bottles nearby. Then I lifted out the printer to make sure everything was there. Opening the little door where the ink is loaded, I saw 4 stoppers: magenta, cyan, yellow, and black, left to right, all in that order. He saw them, but he didn't mix them up. All it took was shifting the little color caps 1 reservoir to the right and putting the black cap on the far left reservoir. That was in order to fix it. That's what she needed to do to fix it. Yeah, the last line doesn't say that he didn't sabotage it. No, he said all it took to fix it was that. I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding this. All it took was shifting the colored caps 1 reservoir to the right and putting, OP didn't touch anything. I don't know.